Let's make sure we protect each other's mental space. If you ever need me, just call. I'ma come running, give it my all. Love is love, God wins. Keep your vibrations high and watch how your blessings.
You know the soul does its role, the heart's doing what it's told. Sit back and just you listen. When love comes, it's on a mission. With your mind, you get choice. Can't ignore your inner voice. You know that sweet gut feeling, all that it's been revealing. You already know we're good to go. Ain't nobody gonna steal the show. Your heart's led to me, tethered to me, platinum chord right to me. Your heart's led to me. So what they talking about? They don't know. It's love. They don't know. It's love. They don't know. It's love. They don't know. They look at us with their bad mind. It don't matter. We're fine, baby. We're good. We're tight. But they love to start a fight. We don't care what they do. We're good to go. Just us two. Over there, so remiss. Mad cause we got love like this. They already know we're good to go. So nobody gonna steal the show. Your heart's led to me. Your heart's led to me. Tethered to me. Platinum chord right to me. Your heart's led to me. So what they talking about? They don't know. It's love. They don't know. It's love. They don't know. It's love. They don't know. If they try to play smart and we listen to our heart, they'll never tear us apart. We've been tied from the start. If they try to play smart and we listen to our heart, they'll never tear us apart. We've been tied from the start. Led to me, to me.
Grand Rising.
Right to me, you're right to me. Platinum chord to me, right to me. Your heart's led to me. So what they talking about? They don't know. Your heart's led to me, tethered to me, tethered to me. Platinum chord right to me. Your heart's led to me. What they on about? It's love. They don't know. They don't know. It's love. They don't know. They don't know. It's love. They don't know. They don't know. It's love. They don't know. It's love. They don't know. They don't know. It's love. They don't know. They don't know. It's love. They don't know.
How y'all been, YouTube? How y'all been? YouTube, how y'all been? Talk to me.
When you don't know
TikTok, how y'all
what you're
been?
gonna do, and you're down and out, they're there for you. Baby at the spot, they care for you.
Maybe y'all don't know history, or maybe y'all don't see history, see this stuff, or you know, maybe we're not really in the understanding of what's happening right now. I don't know. I know some things we need to talk about.
They stay with you.
We gotta talk about it.
For you, through the highs and lows.
That'd be great.
They say fight for you.
Gotta be great. Gotta be great.
It's so nice to feel appreciated and to know that it's real. We're gonna fight every fight as a collective. We're gonna do just what's right as a collective.
As a collective.
Move as one, never quit till it's done. Stay
Stay
focused and selective as
collective.
collective. Through the stormy skies, they fight for you. When the world denies, they lie for you. They rock with you, on the block with you. Yes, they tick tock and lock with you. When things go wrong, they there for you. You haven't known them long, and they're there for you. Always standing strong, they stand with you. So grand with you, yeah, they band with you. Oh, it's so nice to feel appreciated and to grow something real. We're gonna fight every fight as a collective. We're
Y'all doing
gonna
great out
do
there?
just what's right as a
Hey,
collective.
listen, we got some great things happening. All right. We really got some great things happening. You know, before we start talking, I want to share some stuff with you guys. You know, I put my foot back into something that I started a while back. You know, this spring powered stick that you know, push a toilet seat down automatically. So basically, it attached to any toilet seat, and you can, you know, push the toilet seat back down using this after a certain amount of time. It saves on that whole argument in the household of who left the toilet seat up. So I recently ventured back into certain things. And these are one of the things that I, you know, dug back into. And, you know, we are working on the first prototype. So we are putting together the first prototype, trying to put together the first prototype. Now, you know, once again, this is like without investors or anything like that. It's hard when you're trying to, you know, get off the ground, because a lot of these companies, they'll trick you. What they'll try to do is they'll either try to get more shares than you or something like that in order to push you out of the, you know, equation or whatever the case may be. Sometimes sometimes they will oh, that's my fault. So sometimes when you're dealing with this, they might say like, oh, if you pay excess amount, this is the percentage that you're coming in with, so on and so forth. They might tell you, you know, this, that, and the third, that you got to put up so much, 12% to 15%. Or they might tell you like, hey, we work with, you know, factories and, you know, manufacturing companies. And the one thing you got to remember is when you're doing this, all these people are going to get their piece, like, you know, of the percentage. So the factory manufacturing, the production company, the people who in charge of like putting it out there as far as like promoting it, whatever the case may be. So like I was skeptical of like taking these steps, you know, trying to make sure that I had the right protection around it before I, you know, talk to any other company, whatever the case may be. You know, 30 year back check on some of the stuff. So it took like 28 days in order for them to make sure that the idea was not out there, that nobody else had this idea out there. They said that there was commodes that you can buy, but nothing like what I was talking about, with just a nice little spring stick that you can attach to any commode or any toilet and it'll push the toilet seat back down automatically. And of course, you would have to have different sizes because you have like, porous leaf or plastic, depending on what type of commode you're sitting on. But the reason why I did it was because I was like, okay, what is one of those age-old arguments in the household? Who left the toilet seat up is one of those arguments in the household, but nobody ever really comes up with a solution. Whether you have kids or whether you have a man in the house, whatever the case may be, someone's always leaving the toilet seat up. So due to the fact that women do majority of the shopping, I figured this would be a great idea because, you guys are going to pick this up in the stores, especially if you know that it's going to push the toilet seat back down. You ain't got to worry about them late night splash ups, water tainting your butt. In the late night when you stumble into the bathroom, you know how that could be. Sometimes you just wake up, you don't even think, you just turn around and sit. The last thing you want is, toilet water on your bum bum. Cause nobody want to walk around with toilet water on their bum bum. It ain't a good feeling. You thinking the first bump you get, the first breakout you get, you're gonna freak out. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want a toilet water bum bum. So it's a great idea. And looking back into the company with Davis and them, and we're going to get it off the ground and try to get the first prototype out there and so on and so forth. So that's what I've been up to. I don't know what a lot of these other people been up to on this application. I see them still doing the same thing, still sitting, man for currency. I don't really see nothing coming out of them as far as productive in this world, right? But they sit on the application and they scream how much they're doing and how much appraisal they should get just for sitting on YouTube in a closet or wherever they're sitting at. And then they shun everybody that's really trying to make a difference in the world. So because they are not putting the effort in like we are, and they're not doing the things that we're doing, you get this outlook. Also, we're going to add some stuff to the shop, right? So the beads that we add to the shop, once we add these bracelets, these crystal beads to the shop, what we're going to do is we're going to have everyone buy from the Atlas family store, right? And then you can just sell them in your town or in your, if you got like, kids got a lot of stuff coming up for sports. You might be going to a basketball game, a football game. You might want to grab some of these crystals, these beads, and just, off a couple of them at the store. They're going to come with cards. They're going to come with levels of understanding so you can, conduct yourself properly. This is all about discernment right now in this time. You better have some type of level of discernment. Things are changing around us dramatically. Not to alarm anybody, not to scare anybody, but things are changing. If you're not a part of it, you're going to miss it. And this is not something that's new. This stuff has been taking place throughout the years, throughout our history. You just haven't really pinpointed it. They usually hide it with something else. Since 1871, we were sold to the District of Columbia. If anybody remember the Act of 1871, District of Columbia in ownership of the United States. You kind of see that happening right now with Trump and him, getting outside resources to fund our military. That's ironic because we know the operation of money magic, and if someone pays for something, then they're in ownership of that. So if someone else pays for our military, then they're probably in ownership of our military. They're probably going to try to relocate the White House from DC to Utah under new, ownership or whatever. We are probably under some type of, a couple of things might take place. We're not going to get into the things that take place, but let's go back to what we do know. Let's go back in history and see what took place throughout history. The Act of 1871, if anybody remember, a lot of stuff used to be in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, right? Everyone remembers that, right? Philly used to have like the meetings there. Everything used to take place there. We take trips there all the time for the school. If you're in Jersey or if you're in them areas, you might have, took one of these trips. But when you realize the history of what took place, right? We were sold to the District of Columbia 1871. Well, guess what took place in 1875? You guessed it, yellow fever in Philadelphia. What took place? What took place? Yellow fever. Yellow fever hit Philadelphia, right? When yellow fever hit Philadelphia, what happened? They moved everything to DC. And if you look up the structure of DC, the monument, the everything, you will see what it actually entails. You will see what it entails. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that happens already happened. It happened before, it'll happen again, right? Yeah, yellow fever hit. And when the yellow fever hit, that's when they moved everything to DC, hence District of Columbia, right? This is the act of 1871, right? Remember back in the day, they used to have this joke and it was like, oh, do you want to take a stupid test? And then they say like, oh, when was the War of 1812, you know? And you're supposed to say 1812. But as you can see right here, we really did have a war of 1812, and that war took place based off of banking, money system, infiltrating the money system, right? First National Bank, 1791, right? They're bringing in the banking system, right? And then 1811, the Bank of 20 years, chapter, so on and so forth, right? And then you have the War of 1812 that took place. This was the punishment for refusing banking, right? This is the history of the U.S. This is our history. So this is what took place, right? You got 1816, Second National Bank of the U.S., right? Then 1829, right? Andrew Jackson elected, right? He promised. This is why they took out Andrew Jackson, because he promised to take out the banking system at the time, right? So around you say 1902, this is when the other families got involved though. This is when the eight family, everybody got involved at this point. At 1902, right? This is when they put everybody that was in touch with the Federal Reserve on the Titanic. 1912, right? 1912, Titanic sinks, right? Killing off all the oppositions that had the Federal Reserve, right? And then 1913, what happened? Federal Reserve wins out, right? Who's in charge of it at that time, right? So everything that took place, it took place before. History took place before. What's taking place right now is this same idea system, right? The person that put together the Washington D.C. monument is Lafayette plan. L, with the little marker, ENFANT, right? If you look that up, you will see that it's a 6-point star, Masonic 6-point star with the Washington monument sitting in the middle. These are energy harvesting points. I'm pretty sure Great Britain has one too. Theirs go by like Cleopatra needle or something like that. I think even if you look up Cleopatra's needle right now, they took it out of circulation so you can't look certain things up. There's a lot of words that they're taking off of the internet and blocking out, that so you can't look this stuff up that I'm talking about. This is happening right now. It's a digital system that we're moving to, digital system. This is why they're saying, AI stuff and backing things behind AI, so on and so forth. The digital system that we're moving into, I don't know if tariff plays a part of it, but everything that's happening right now plays a part of it. It's history repeating itself. It's nothing new under the sun. A lot of people think that the U.S. Civil War was about, freedom of slavery, but that wasn't true. It was about the infiltration of the greenback money system. They wasn't really fighting slavery. This was a trick to make you think they were going against slavery. You know what I mean? Abraham Lincoln had slaves. This was the infiltration of the greenback money system. How did the banking system get put in play? How did we get this green note? When did this green note get put in place? The Civil War, right? We thought we were signing Emancipation Proclamation, whatever we thought we were signing. No, we were signing the Federal Reserves over to the greenback money system. Now, a lot of people don't want to tell you this. They don't want to tell you the truth about this. But this is why history repeats itself. This is why everything takes place. And then if you look at the Federal Reserve, the money system being backed up behind the oil, that you know Afghanistan, where whoever provides the oil, now you can see why Trump is in cahoots with he's in cahoots with, right? You can see why Charlie Clerk had to get pushed out the way, because Charlie Clerk is not Muslim. Charlie Clerk is Christian, right? But Trump, he's gonna go with any direction that brings that money, right? That's why he's saying his daughter took her shahada and she's now Muslim, right? But he was just at the Bible Museum. How you at the Bible Museum talking about Christians, and then 2 weeks later you sitting down with Muslims who don't believe Christ existed, don't believe the books? Your man's Charlie Clerk get taken out, who do believe in these books, and now all of a sudden we turning into some side project for a Muslim leader. But that's besides the point, right? Because what is always was and always will be life. All of these things could be speculated. All of these things is just topics of conversations. Now, the importance is the minds of the multitude. That's the importance. But you would never know, because everyone is trapped by some idea or manipulation of the mind. A lot of people are trapped in survival. Some are trapped in finances. Some are trapped in that house, the responsibilities, the kids, the marriage, the so on and so forth. So the titles, the bonds, all of these things is what's keeping us in bondage. And sometimes we have chances where we can come out of this bondage and realize that we're greater together. But they're always going to put these people out there like Jaguar Wright, Maggie, that's going to make you, try to put you against each other, right? You have so many people right now playing and interfering with American affairs. Why? Why is people from Canada sitting on American applications trying to put American people at, war with each other? Why is people from, the UK, Great Britain, so on and so forth, sitting on American applications trying to make Americans fight with each other? Why is our own president trying to make us fight with each other? Why is he putting the Republicans against the Democrats? Why? Why? No one's asking that. No one's saying why. Everyone's seeing it happen, but no one's saying why. Right? It's a circus. And then the threats get thrown out there because the American people is the ones who suffer from it, right? That's why Trump tweets threats like, if you guys keep voting like that, it'll be your last time voting. Just kidding. Really, not really. Come on. That's why I always say Consumer Digest America. You know what I mean? That's why I say Consumer Digest America, because we're suffering. And, to be honest, if you look at, what's taking place in the corporate world, I don't know if any of you guys work, but or if any of you guys are in America, but if you look at what's taking place in the corporate world, TikTok and different applications like that is the new job. That's the new job. TikTok, going live, being a streamer is the new job. Look at what Blueface did as soon as he got out. He didn't drop no album when he got out. What did Blueface do as soon as he got out? Got on streams. Started getting on streams. Right? Y'all fought me for trying to be a part of a greater collective and, you know, build a brand and an image around Atlas and the Atlas network. Y'all fought me for that over here on YouTube. Y'all tore me down trying to tarnish my image, name, reputation, likeness, whatever you want to call it, right? But then you steal pieces of my characteristic traits, my personality, my ability to make people laugh, my ability to I'm watching different people try to divvy up me on a social network, right? Trying to take different levels of my ideas that I done talked about over here, so on and so forth, because they got the little bit of funds to do it. They trying to take the ideas, trying to keep me from being, you know, greater, right? So I can just keep sitting on here forking out the ideas that they can steal and use and make it make sense. Y'all don't want me at the table, but y'all want the ideas and stuff because y'all can't think. Only thing y'all could think is money, 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 money. Knowledge, wisdom, loss. You ain't trying to help people. You ain't trying to make people connect. You ain't trying to make the connection, right? National Banking Act 1863 and 1864. These acts established systems of national character banking, and this is where they they did the same thing back in the biblical days, right? 7 years of good crop and then 7 years of bad crop. If you go back, they was trying to study and learn how to manipulate the weather, so on and so forth. These are things that if you got 7 years of good crop and you know it's 7 years of good crop and you done saved up that 7 years, you ready for the 7 years of bad crop, guess what? Now you're the loaning office. You loan everybody else during the time of famine, during the time of war, during the time. Now you loan everybody else, right? So let's say ideally that they systematically put this in play, right? Where they put us in a situation and then they issue help. And then it's kind of the same thing with the EBT right now, right? You got the government shut down. You got so many people without funds, right? But the same people who put us in the problem is the same people that's solving the problem. Make it make sense. It don't make sense. Nothing that takes place right now makes sense, right? That's like the same person that beat you up helping you heal. Huh? That's like the person that beat you up helping you heal. Let me get you through it. Take me through there. Take me through there. Yo, imagine, right? That's what's happening right now. So they got to play the hero. A hero is only needed when you get put in a certain situation. So they're going to put us in a certain situation just to come play the hero. And it's going to be on a bigger scale. It's not going to be on this scale that you think it is right now. It's going to be on a bigger scale. You know what I mean? So that's why you have to make sure that you are mentally stable for reality now, because it's not the same. You're going to have to live in your mind, because they did a study on like animals and stuff like that. And some of the animals was acting weird. They was acting like, in a zombie state, acting not there. So on and so forth. They called it canine dysfunction. And I think our brains are going through the same thing, but we're responding or reacting different. I think where we just repeated the same life over and over again through generations. We watched our grandparents go to work, come home, go to work, come home, maybe have fun on the weekend, right? And now that we're going through the same thing. So I think a lot of people minds are coming to like some type of like living, like this is not living. We want to live. We want a life. We want to have fun. We want, you know what I mean? Some people might be going out there doing wild things. Some people might be going out there doing other things, Some people might just want to freak all day. I don't know. I can't say what the next person is going through inside their mind. But if you look at the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, now this is where President Woodrow Wilson signs these acts establishing the Federal Reserve System as the central bank of the United States. Its purpose was to create more stable, flexible, and safe monetary financial system. It established the Federal Reserve Board of Government of 12 regional Federal Reserve banks. 12 banks, right? 12 banks, right? Now, we already know about the gold rush that took place, California gold rush. They didn't have nowhere to put that dirt. What they did was they filled up this sandbar, and that became San Francisco. A lot of people don't even know that split between San Francisco, that little sandbar right there, it actually went in deeper. It was considered to be the Red Sea, but y'all wouldn't know nothing about that because that's a different part of history, right? So when they did the California gold rush, they didn't have nowhere to put the dirt. So they filled up that bay, and that became the San Francisco Bay, and so on and so forth. But that's neither here nor there, right? There's a lot of things in the history that changed, and a lot of people don't recognize the change that took place, how money system got put in place, so on and so forth. So there was a lot of things that took place on this continent, this mystery Babylon, and we're still going through that right now. We were coming out of the mystery of the fog, and we were stepping into the truth of it. We had other people from other countries that was rooting us on for it. They were telling us like, y'all are onto something, because a lot of people don't really get the history of American Black until they're here. And you can ask people from Africa, when do you learn about? They're not teaching about African Americans over there. They're not teaching that we were a part of anything connected over there. They don't learn about us until they get here and try to become a citizen here. And then they, but that's neither here nor there. The idea of this has always been in the minds. It's always been in your mind. So once they got rid of all of our true elders, they taught us what they wanted to teach us. The elders knew the history of our continent. They got rid of that, taught us the history that they wanted us to know. But fragments of this is in the pieces of all of us. Fragments of this history is in our minds. Something is yearning and edging you to search for certain variations of knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Something inside you is beckoning. It's like a beacon. Sometimes it's strong and you get into learning stuff and you think it's just your passion or something like that. You're like, I don't know what it is. Something, I'm passionate about something. And it's that of which is inside of you, especially when you start learning new stuff. When you get close, you'll start feeling the chills when you get close to certain parts of history that actually ties to. So they put it in movies all the time, and a lot of these beings, they had an opportunity. They had a chance to bring us into a one mind understanding of this verse. And they dropped the ball. They failed. We got to be honest about this. They failed. They made it in man's image, in the image of superiority, in the image of trying to rule over. They didn't give you the connection to creation, They didn't let you know how important you was. Singularity. Like, you are so important. There's more electricity in a person's body than it is a lightning bolt. A bolt of lightning, well, I know I technically said it wrong, but you have to realize your connection with the earth, your connection, why mankind is the center of the universe, why we were so important to God that he put a dome around us to protect us, because he knew we wasn't ready. He knew that at that time we would have to grow into this understanding in order to be ready for the level of order that is in the universe. We're out of order because we're children. We wanted to stay in the same sinful ways. We wanted to stay in the same, we didn't want to excel, evolve. Look at what's going on right now. A lot of people rather go back to eating with their hands than learn table manners. A lot of people rather go back to farting and wiping their snot on their shirt than getting a napkin. A lot of people rather go back to, when you look at the world, they think it's natural. It's no, that's the animal, that's the mo that's in you, not the anu. That's the mo. We're both, when you're talking about, human, or humane or human, we are Hugh and we are man, but you are Hugh man. So you got to remember that essence of the Holy Ghost, the energy that's breathed inside of you that gives you the ability to not act like animals, that give you the ability to have a little bit of decorum, decency, class, right? A lot of people have shunned the uppity way, the uppity image, the, carry yourself with class image. A lot of people shunned it, but maybe we need to bring it back. Right now, the ideal image of this world, big butt, shaking ass, big like this is corrupting us. It's lust. We are living in a lustful world. I'm not saying lust is not needed, but it's not teaching us anything. You're teaching how to loosen the sperm. You're teaching how to bring in weak seeds. A lot of people are not analyzing it, but the reason why we are downgrading within collective is because we're not bringing in strong seeds. There's no man out there building up a strong seed and then passing it to a woman. There's women out there that don't even know about a man supposed to hold a seed in for excess amount of days before passing it. No one knows the truth about that because they're hiding the knowledge. They're hiding the information about how to strengthen the seed, how both parties equal 12, right? How both parties equal a certain amount of months for carrying the seed and the passing of the seed, and why they cut you off at a certain point, right? They realize at what point can we induce labor to stop a true spiritual birth? 9 months. 9 months is the cutoff point. A lot of people who go through spiritual births might stay in there for 12 months. An elephant is pregnant for 16 months, right? I think 2 years, 16 months to 2 years. But what I'm saying is they don't know the truth. So they put fear into you, and then they realize what is the cutoff point. So they bring us to that cutoff point. That's why you can't have no home births anymore. That's why they took away dolphin birth. Y'all got to look into this shit. Women, you are the creators of the future, right? You birth nations, right? So it's up to women to change the direction of what our nations are going into, right? They done already attacked and kicked all the heterosexual men out the household. There's no heterosexual men out there no more. Everybody is in hiding. All the heterosexuals are married or whatever the case may be. So the people that's out there right now is literally like, I don't even want to speak on it, but it's up to the women to teach the next generation to be greater, to want to have certain variations of decorum, to stop treating your son like your boyfriend. Stop doing the shit that you want to do in a relationship with your son, because we messed up this world. We messed it up. But the beauty about it is people change. We could change. And then the world could be beautiful. Let's take a moment.
It ain't easy going through
Put some hearts in the comment section if you believe we could change.
Feeling dead inside, but there's hope for wrongs to be made right. Long as we can stay living collectively today.
I tell you, I'll be listening to our music. Hear that word?
All we ever really wanted was you. All we ever really needed was you. Love you.
I be really jamming out to this music. They be looking at me like, what the hell is he doing? What is he listening to?
Another year,
Another year,
another
come
another
on.
word, another year. Wisdom only speaks to understanding that can't hear. Even by only seeing makes the vision unclear.
Huh? Talk to
Tides
him.
of love will flood, and countless families one. All we want, all we need, all we ever really wanted was you. All we ever really needed was you. I miss you.
Hey, y'all know y'all miss me over on YouTube. Hey, the haters know they miss me too over here. I was their greatest adversary. And then I gracefully bowed out. That's what makes them mad. They wanted somebody to fight tooth and nail, try to destroy themselves, to do this. Man, listen, we came over here laughing, joking, and pointing it out for fun. Did they really think that they was going to disturb us? I practiced true inner peace in my real life. In my everyday life, I practiced the inner peace that I was trying to teach people to have over here. In my real life, I be practicing it. So that's why I laughed when it happened. That's why you guys see me in the videos with the cops around me, sitting Indian style. You know what I'm saying? They was upset about that Discord that had all that information in there about Murph and everything like that. That's what they was upset about. I'm gonna reopen that Discord. They think the Discord is gone. Nah, I'm gonna reopen that Discord. The one that got all that information in there about them. Huh? Put people right back in that Discord. All I gotta do is go like this. Let me see. Somebody click the link. See if it sends you to that Discord. Somebody click the link. See if it sends you to that Discord. All the stuff is still in the petty pocket. Y'all ain't really hide or duck anything. All the evidence is still right there in the petty pocket. You know, a couple of those and it's funny because a lot of these people, it's just like they said. When they said Big Homie CC works in an office with a bunch of computers and cubicles and stuff like that, they said that people was on here analyzing conspiracy theorists, like people who spoke about conspiracy theories, you know, flat earth, round earth, you know, Zachariah Stitchins, you know, all of that stuff, the stuff that we were talking about. Like they said that people were aiming to attack them. They put organizations together that was aiming to attack conspiracy theorists. And I was thinking poppycock. That's what I was thinking at first. You know, I was like, poppycock, ain't no way. Right? But then I started watching the Pharaoh and how his story started changing, how he said he ate a cookie from a white person on Christmas. And like there was some crazy stories that started coming out around the people who were speaking on high level high level conspiracy theorist stuff, right? You had Jamal, what's his name? Jamal, whatever his name is. He was talking about, the Galactic War, the Orion Wars, and the DNAs and all of that stuff. And then look what happened to him. And I started noticing this was taking place not just on big levels, but on smaller levels, where people were infiltrating people's lives and then either trying to put them in domestic, trying to cause some type of storyline to change to make them look messed up. And we ate it up. We ate it up because we were structured in the mind to feed on world star negativity, the gossip. So the gossip spread like the truth. The truth didn't spread. Lies spread. All these lies is in our verse being portrayed as the truth. Look at Jaguar Wright. Still to this day, lying through her teeth about experiences with Jay-Z, Big L, this person, that person. Right? Why? Because those lies sell. You're not buying into the truth. You buying into the story that's being told, because the story is more intriguing than the truth. And what I mean by intriguing, I mean it's more appeasing to your feelings and emotions, because the truth actually causes you to think. The truth actually causes you to put feelings and emotions to the side. See, a lot of y'all see a YT person and a black person going against each other, and because whatever color fits your skin, that's who you rooting for. And you don't want to be honest and say that's your mindset. But a lot of people are programmed in that mindset. It's called linear thinking. Your parents might have taught you it. Their parents might have taught them it. Your grandparents might have taught you. It might have skipped a generation. It might have skipped a couple of people. But a lot of people are stuck on just doing for their own people type method, right? And it's the mindset that was groomed into us when we were young. And that's why we can't reach certain variations or certain borders of unity, because a lot of people don't know what unity truly is. A lot of y'all are biased with your union. A lot of y'all have strains attached to your union. A lot of y'all lie and say that y'all want unity, but y'all don't really want unity. I see a lot of, black content creators on YouTube who sits there and screams about how YT this, YT that, YT this, YT that, YT this, YT that. But then as soon as them YTs come in with that YT money, everything changes. I find that ironic, because a lot of y'all sold out already on YouTube. You ain't teaching your peoples nothing. You on here grifting, trying to get money for whatever habits you done accumulated over your time being a human, right? You don't have discipline over your flesh. That's why you see Jaguar Wright sitting at the bars trying to do the eatings of crabs and the low vibrational stuff, the stuff that they tell you in the biblical text not to eat, but they scream religion, religion, religion. Well, tell me, how is it that the spiritual people of this world has discipline over their body more than the religious people of this world? Make it make sense. How y'all shun the spiritual people for meditating, y'all shun us for dealing with crystals and so on and so forth, yet we have more control and discipline over our flesh than you do. The 72 demons of the soul of man done corrupted half of the religions that's on this earth. Yet the spiritual people, we still standing strong. We the glue that's keeping all this together. Y'all are in fear. We still have hope. Y'all are in survival. We frolicking. Y'all are in panic. We in passion. Y'all are in problems. We in solutions. And that's why I say y'all need us more than you think you need us. Without us, you'll destroy yourself. Why? Because half the people are already willing to give up. Look at Jaguar Wright. She's pushing for a war. Everybody's pushing for a war. That means they gave up already. Anybody who's telling you that we can't come to a peaceful agreement with no harm done to nobody is looking for the war. Anybody. Because what they telling you is they don't see no other solution but to fight. Winner takes all. That's some barbaric ass gladiator shit. I thought we came a long way from that. I thought we was better than that. But history will repeat itself because it always does. Now, look, to be honest, I was trying to YouTube the monetization thing, all this stuff, but you see what they did. They try to tear us down, and they didn't want to unify, We're doing the music thing, and that's working out pretty decently. We got the TikTok thing and the agency over there, and that's working out pretty decently. We got the invention that's going to come out soon, and it's probably going to be 6 months, but I'm probably going to start looking for investors soon to try to, move it along a little bit faster. Probably going to try to find investors. I know that it's about 10,000 to get everything off the ground as far as like production and trying to manufacture it and get it into Walmart and Target and other places like that. So it's going to take some funds. But everything will come, happen how it's supposed to happen, and that'll be great. I'm glad that the company in Pittsburgh damn. I'm glad the company in Pittsburgh held on so long. Yeah, wait till December come and we do our our 1 year anniversary live. Wait till December come and we do our 1 year anniversary live. They still doing the same shit. Huh? I want y'all to think about that. They've been beefing for more than a year. TikTok beefs that last more than a year. That's a gimmick. That is not a beef. Y'all both need each other at this point. Any TikTok beef that's why they never wanted to come up with no type of solution to you know what I mean? That's why it was always like an endless beef, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it was always endless. It was never like I want to end this. I want to, you know what I'm saying? That's why it was never no ending, because it became a criteria. It became a job, It's like as long as I'm beefing with you forever, we can just keep on beefing with each other. We could talk about other stuff, but then when we ain't got nothing to talk about, we could just talk about each other. Does that sound like a plan? That sounds like an agreement. They all in agreement to beef with each other. So this is the soap opera. This is the days of our lives. This is the modern day soap opera. Instead of watching, As the World Turned, God and Light, y'all are now watching bullshit. Weird bullshit. You beefing with somebody for over a year on here, going back and forth. Think about that. They beef with each other for over a year on here. I popped in Magic Live one day and she just talking about us. I'm like, are you serious? We ain't been around for how long? And as soon as I come over here, she's Ralph. So how many times did you mention us? Cause we don't watch their lives no more. We literally moved on to life. And it's just crazy because these people are still repeating the same thing like they're stuck in a loop. This is why I don't watch reruns. This is why it's not good to just watch the same movies over and over again. These people are stuck in the Goonies and Gremlin days. You know, they out here still trying to watch Swamp Thing. You know, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, it's okay to build followers, to build fans, to build a school. If you know what I'm saying, but if you gotta, what is you doing? You teaching you and since like, man, that is just the weirdest shit to me. It's like you have an opportunity, a chance to show people something greater, to be in a greater, and you showing people laziness. You showing people the ability to give up gracefully. Like, come on, come on. All that, you might as well ask them to help you learn how to drive so you could finally drive a car. You 34 years old, you ain't doing shit. Have your owls teach you to drive a car. You know, that's why I say these people ain't real, because this is a gimmick for them. Online, that's a job for them. See, we on here, we want to push out the knowledge, the wisdom, the unification, so we take it a different, level than they take it. They need the controversy because the controversy sell. They need the beef, That's why they never talked about none of the knowledge that we talked about over here. You had weird people come out who lied and made it seem like they were scientists and said that we don't operate on more than 23 chromosomes and blah 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 blah, lying. That person later came out and said that they wasn't a scientist. Like, so you just pretended to be a spy, a scientist, every stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say these are characters. They all trying to find different characters to fit in. They're like, oh, okay, I think I can be a scientist today. Let me see how long I can get away with that. I'm a physician. Let me chat GTP how to be a lawyer. They're pretending to be lawyers. They're online lawyers, all types of shit, all for the sake of a scam. That's it. Authors, book writers. Look at Ronnie Bo. Look at Ronnie Slow, dumbass. Probably back locked up. You know what I'm saying? Perk 30s done got him booked again. Look at Big Hungry CC. He's still going around spreading his little lies and so on and so forth. They even pulled 607 Unk in the mix. And everybody's getting podcasts. Everybody's getting streamer deals. This the new job right here. This the job. Technology gonna be working in Walmart, self, checkout, and what is it? Mystery shoppers, gift shoppers, whatever it's called, So that's gonna be working that, right? This is the new job. If you're not making an image for yourself online, if you're not building a brand around yourself online, you probably gonna fall victim to the collapse of the economy. But if you making a digital footprint for yourself, if you building, digital currency for yourself, you might be ahead of the wave. This the new job right here. Y'all better get y'all a TikTok page. Y'all better start NPCing, whatever. Find you a small corner in your house. Set the camera up. You know what I'm saying?
Start sitting there. Go watch go play a video game. Go play the Sims video game. You know, all you gotta do is sit there. Like, got a Warren, you got a Warren. You know what I mean? Just skittle proper. You know what I mean? And get that money. You know, get yourself out there. Get that money. You know, they got Hood, NPC, Panky Dial out there. Ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. You might find yourself on the next VMAs or MTV, whatever show she was on, right? But you don't know because you got to build that brand around yourself. I seen somebody getting paid, burnt your money for counting rice. He was just counting rice, just taking one and pushing it over to the side and pushing the next one over to the side, and the count would go up, and they sat there for hours watching him do that shit. Donating and everything. You better get over there on TikTok and start getting them hours up on your live. So do some battles, start battling people, just, you know what I'm saying, running the Soldier Boy or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your talent might be. You might be able to put your tongue, your tongue might be able to touch your nose. I don't know what you can get on there and do, but y'all better start looking for digital currency. I promise you that. You better start pushing for digital currency. Now, I don't know about XXRP or none of that other stuff, or the AARP programs, or, you know, none of that cryptocurrency stuff that people are, but they can't even touch the cryptocurrency right now. Maybe later on, once everything gets pushed into a different form of currency, because right now everything is still banking on the Federal Reserve or the greenback money system, and they're trying to implement a different system, but we have to see how that go. You know, a lot of people old school. You know, a lot of people didn't want to even switch over to plastic. You remember how hard it was when plastic came in, when Visa and MasterCard came in? Everybody had, you know, money. They were like, I'm keeping mines in the bed. I'm keeping mines in the TV, you know. Until they realized, you know, houses started catching on fire, and they realized, like, oh shit, my money's not really safe. You know, some people started burying it outside, but then they realized, oh shit, it still ain't really safe. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got, you know, remember when banks first came in, people didn't want to just put their money in the bank. You know, think about it. I need y'all to really think about it. You know, people was trying to find different ways to stash their money. Then when we switched to plastic, everybody didn't want to walk around with plastic. Some people still don't know how to use plastic. They hate their card. They go in the store, I don't like this damn card. I can't never swipe it. It don't never beep for me. I don't know whether to hold it on there for a long time or take it away. My pen don't work all the time. I hate this card. You know what I'm saying? But the youth don't know how to count money, though. The youth got to use their phone or that card. The youth don't know how to count money. You could listen. I promise you, right now, if you don't believe me, you could go all the way up to damn near 17 right now, maybe 26. You could go find you somebody that's 23 years old right now, and tell them to count some money. I guarantee you they make an ass load of mistakes. Go to a 17-year-old, drop some change that's not quarters in front of them, and tell them to put together $1.65. I bet you they say, where the quarters at? I bet you. 17 years old, I bet you they say, where the quarters at? I bet you they act like they don't know how to count without quarters in the mix. I bet you. I'm telling you. They don't know how to do it. Why do you think half the stores and stuff are switching out to self count machines at night? In fact, you don't even have to count the money no more in the stores no more. Back in the day, if you was a manager or something like that, you had to count the money, right? Now you don't even got to count the money. Guess what you do? You put exactly how many 20s it is. Before, you had to do the math and tell them how much it was, right? Now you just say there was 33 20s, right? You don't even have to count the quarters or nothing. You just say it was 25 quarters in the drawer. That's how they got to do it now, because they can't do the math on money. Half the kids use their iPhone, just the Apple Pay. The rest of them use Cash App. Most of the kids don't buy nothing unless it's an online purchase anyway. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. You give a kid $300 cash, they look at you. Can I get Fortnite with this? Hey, look at you. They pretty soon we not even gonna know what greenback money. Pretty soon a $20 bill gonna be extinct. You hear me? You're gonna be looking at $20 bill like, what? What is this? They're gonna be laughing at us. We're gonna be somewhere about to try to pay with a $20 bill. They're gonna be looking at us like old timer, still sitting out here with this greenback money stuff. Your money's no good here. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have something put digitally in their skin where you just wave a hand. Get out the way, old timer. Yeah, wallets ain't even gonna exist no more. Huh? Purse, get out of here. All these pew-pewings that's going on, we ain't about to have nothing but spandex, huh? Everybody's just gonna have to walk around with spandex just to teach, just to show somebody you ain't got nothing on you, huh? Everybody gonna be in so much fear. It's gonna be so scurry, huh? They're gonna be so scared. Everybody gonna have to have thermals and spandex with the little poop shooter in the back where you gotta, you know what I'm saying, take the buttons off and squat. Let out. For real. Y'all, we building a fearful world. That's what we growing into. Fear. Everybody's contributing to it. You get some fear. You get some fear. A little shock therapy for you. How about some scare? Like they doing it to the kids. Watch what they do this Christmas. Watch what they do this Christmas. Now, Halloween didn't feel like Halloween. You know why Halloween didn't feel like Halloween? Because Christmas is the new scary. Huh? Halloween didn't feel like Halloween. Halloween felt like Easter. You know what I'm saying? Like an Easter egg hunt. That's what Halloween felt like. Christmas, the new Halloween. Christmas about to be scary than a mother sucker. You hear me? Christmas about to be scary. If you ain't start shopping yet for gifts, the movie's gonna be scary. I told y'all not to do that. I said it last year. I put a video out last year. I said, listen, parents, I'm gonna need y'all to stop scaring y'all kids with the Grinch, with this whole stealing of Christmas thing, recording their reactions, putting it out into the airways and the frequency, you know, showing the scare and putting the fear in them because it's going to alter our future. Nobody wanted to believe me. Now look, all we get is Krampus and the Grinch for Christmas. That's how low vibrational y'all is. Santa Claus we ain't even got no miracles on 51st Street anymore. We get Grinch and Krampus. That's it. We don't even have, you remember when we had Rudolph and we had Miracle on 52nd Street? No, ain't no miracles happening no more. Look at the movies that's going to come out. Look at the lineup for the Christmas movies. You can go check it right now. You can go check the lineup right now for 2025 Christmas movies. It ain't Die Hard trilogy no more. I thought when they did that, I thought that was awkward. I said, why is they making Die Hard trilogy a Christmas movie? This is not a Christmas movie. You know, maybe Home Alone, you know. They ain't even Home Alone in us no more. Not even Home Alone 3. Macaulay Culkin out the window. Nope. Krampus, Beetlejuice, and shit like that. They is not giving us hope. That shit is off the table. Huh? It's the most wonderful time of the year. No, not anymore. Not anymore. Huh? Y'all better think about Christmas in July. Huh? Because if it's a July, you better have Christmas in July. a lie. And is this not no more December Christmas? You hear me? They taking that off the table. Watch. When you think what, man, listen. Some of y'all about to be struggling for Thanksgiving. Huh? Some of y'all about to be struggling for Thanksgiving. Think about that. It's the worst time to be out of EBT right now. When you gotta buy the turkey, the stuffing, the cranberry sauce, everything. Huh? Where's that lady at around this time? She ain't even popping up on nobody's feed no more, huh? She supposed to pop up on your feed. I got greens, beans, tomatoes. You name it. She ain't even popping up on nobody's feed no more. Where's she at? Y'all know every Thanksgiving she pop up on the feed. I got beans, greens, tomatoes, chicken, ham. You name it. Where's she at? She ain't popping up on nobody's shit because she know. They already know we not about to have beans, greens, tomatoes. We ain't about to have none of that shit. They already knows it. She ain't even popping up no more. She ain't popping up. Ain't nobody put it out there. Ain't a motherfucker used the sound yet or nothing. Where's it at? Huh? Yeah, where is it at? That's it ain't nowhere. We ain't got it. Huh? We in a different world from where you come from. Huh? It's a different world from where you come from. Shit. This is gonna be exciting if you ask me. This is about the future looking great. I'm excited for the future. I'm looking at all the ways that they can fuck you over, huh? I can't wait. That's why I wanted to build a small community and a small collective, so that way we could just keep each other cool-headed and keep each other mentally prepared for the fuckery and the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized, I build it in my mind, and then I also build it on TikTok and build it on YouTube. I said, well, shoot, it's time to put this journey in the physical and build that type of community in the physical world. So that's what I aim to do, and we're still moving towards it. Greater things. Some people revealed their hand. Some people showed their self. We know what things is all about, because some things have to be a lesson, and in all things you have to take heed to what's going on. So we took heed to it. We realized and analyzed and came to the realization that, everything ain't for everybody. So now we have to go about building our collective a different way, and maybe making sure that the proper people is in the collective, because this ain't just going to be no, you're going to be able to mess us over with some bullshit. Like, we want to make sure that the collective is strong. So that's why I always said, like, listen, I'm going to go through the bullshit right now for the collective before the collective even get there. So that way we can make sure it's the right location, the right place, the right people, so on and so forth. Somebody probably contacted Freeman from the internet and told him that they can help him out better, and him, going through everything, because the man actually, he needs help real bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Danny Robinson have given y'all proper updates on how bad he needs help, in the wheelchair and everything like that. She probably being modest about it, but that man really needed help. And the fact that whatever's going on, I mean, maybe he's in some darker shit or got some deeper shit going on, but everybody that reaches out for help is not going to be accepting to the help that you're bringing, right? They might want, a lot of people are at the edge already, so they want instant help. You know what I mean? They want the help to come with the financial, like, he probably trapped himself in a lot of stuff or whatever the case may be, couldn't really get out of it. But a lot of people don't call you until it's the last minute, and then at the last minute they just want to put everything on your shoulders and make you do, you know what I mean? Like, what? Hold up, chill, you know what I mean? But in this world, you'll run into that more, because there's not a lot of people willing to help out there. So a lot of people take advantage of the willing right now. So the people that is willing to help, you gotta have discernment, because the people that's willing to help, because there's so few that don't want to help and so few that can't help, so on and so forth. The people that's willing is getting taken advantage of, because once they feel like they got you, they want to get the most out of you, either before you stop, or before you move on, or before you, so they're trying to get the most that they can out of you while they got you, because you're willing. You get what I'm saying? So they don't care about the corporal hours. They don't care about how many hours they get. They gonna, oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, overtime, overtime, overtime. But then once they get everything back where they need it to be, you're gonna notice that they not offering you overtime. In fact, they'll cut your damn hours, like they didn't remember 2 months ago how much you bust your ass, right? They don't care about that, right? They a necessity for the time that they needed you type, So a lot of times you have to have that proper control over yourself to say, I'm not going to burn myself out doing this. But pride is a lot. A lot of people take pride in some of the smallest jobs. I used to take pride in working at McDonald's when I had to work at McDonald's, when I worked at, Burger King, any of these places, when I worked in the warehouse. I took pride in these different locations, and in a lot of things that we do, we take a little bit of pride in it, because we're doing it. You know what I mean? So anything that we do, we like, shit, if I'm doing it, then I'm gonna take, you know what I mean, because I signed up for it. But however you look at it, a lot of people in this world is going to take advantage of the willing. That's why those who are willing need to put themselves around other people who are willing. Because the only person that's not going to take advantage of the willing is someone who's already willing themselves. Because you'll see them doing it themselves more than they asking you to do it, right? And when you put a bunch of willing people together, right, shit just get done. Nobody's really saying what needs to be done, because everybody's doing what needs to be done. A lot of times, all you got to do is just chip in and give a hand, because the willing is going to jump up and say, all right, I got to go over here and do this, right? The people who's taking advantage of you is going to let you know what they want you to do, but the willing is already doing it. All you got to do is chip in. And that's why if you put a bunch of willing people together, things is going to get done. A group of willing people can make a town within a month. 6 months, because you're willing, right? So once you go through the struggle of putting everybody in the same location, first you got to get everybody in the same location, then you got to start building, then you got to start cultivating the land, then you got to start changing. But the willing is going to be the ones already, they're going to be the ones willing to sit through it and go through the struggles of getting that land together, because the same minded, right? But some people want to already come to an already built situation. Oh, you ain't got the house already ready. Oh, you ain't got the farm already ready. Oh, you ain't got the, oh, so you wanted me to do all the work and you pop up at the end and reap the benefits. That's what the type of world we live in, where someone else does all the work and they trying to reap the benefits. So you got a lot of reap the benefit people running around right now that don't want to do the work. I want to be around the people that want to do the work, because that's the willing, right? They willing to do that. They willing. I used to go around and put work in on other people's land, and I ain't get shit out of it. As you can see with the Freeman situation, I went up there, bust my ass up there, put greenhouse, all of that shit, chicken coop, all of that shit, pigs, cutting grass, all of that shit, fucked up nice boots, all of that shit. Didn't get a dime out of it, but hard times and some grief and some bullshit ass image, that they wanted to portray, like I'm going around trying to use people or whatever. And they still ain't never clean that shit up, even though the truth then came out and it shows that I'm not trying to use people and so on and so forth. Ain't nobody still ain't try to clean that up. So make it make sense that these people saying that they about truth and helping people, when they seen somebody that was really out there in the physical world helping people, they tried to make it out to be something false, and they still ain't say, damn, so he really was there helping them. Make that make sense. Now they trying to act like I just disappeared. He just disappeared. We don't know where he at. Anybody seen Ralph the Wise? Anybody heard from Ralph the Wise? Where is he at? Like I ain't been going live. Like I ain't been over on TikTok. Like I ain't been around. But these people don't want to help, but they'll tear down the people that's trying to actually help. I take somebody that's trying to help with nothing than somebody that's not trying to help with everything. Give me the person that's trying to help with nothing than the person that's not trying to help with everything. You know? This is why I say the world is effed down, not effed up. The world is effed down. It really is. The world is effed down for real, for real. See, here's the thing about it. It's like I just wanted to put knowledge and wisdom out there. I wanted to, teach, about chakra systems, about how to, be in your root chakra, live without the fear, the necessity to survive. Know that that is a nature that will take care of itself. You know what I mean? If a person get hungry enough, they might bite their own arm off. So the need to survive will take care of itself. But when you kind of focus on that and give focus to that, then you live in that chakra, you dwell in that chakra. And there's ways that you can still have to deal with things in that chakra, but not be in that chakra because it's a mental state. I was just trying to teach people how to get out of that mental state. Even though you might be going through financial burden, paycheck to paycheck, car trouble, kids, relationship, whatever. Those problems are part of the human experience now. That has nothing to do with the state that you are in. The state that you deal with this stuff in has nothing to do with the dealing with of this stuff. If you go to a different state of mind, those things that come with a human experience are still there. They're still possible to happen. Because it's part of the human experience now. These traumas, these trials and tribulations, so on and so forth, they're a part of the human experience, but the state of mind that you operate or deal with these issues or human issues in does not have to be in that depressive state, that sad state, right? A lot of people get mad at me because I deal with trouble with the smile. It's not saying I like the shit. It's just that it's part of the human experience. So I'm just like, I'm glad I'm here to experience it, I guess. But it's not to say that I like trouble. It's to say look, if you go back and look at the Freeman situation, if you go back and look at the videos of the cops coming there and everything like that, every time they came there, I was calm. They was mad as hell that I was so calm. Those officers was mad as hell. Every time they came there, they was mad as hell. Even when they try to come in and try to, so did you chase him with because we just want to hear it from, they heard what happened from 3 people in the house. They heard what happened from 3 people in the house. They still looking at me like, do you want, what is you, so, officer? They was mad as hell. Even right after the whole situation with them coming in the house with the people, the police pull up and think that I still got that same energy for them. So when they pull up, they ready for me to have that energy. And then they seen like, damn, he done set Indian style because I'm in control of my emotions. You think I'm gonna let y'all get my emotions riled up and then the wrong people come into the picture and then I take those emotions out on the wrong people? To where as though they're like, calm down, Mr. Boston. He was irate. He was that you ain't gonna put your foot on my neck. Fuck that. I'm gonna sit right here, Indian style, in peace. You know? That's just how I am. People don't realize that. I'm so in control of my emotions. I can go from taking, these being in this emotion with this one person, turn right around and change and be in a different emotion with somebody else. You know what I mean? They not because they know. They know that they get to govern those in the low vibration. Thank you. The people that's in the low vibrational, they get to do what they want with those low vibrations. But someone who carry themselves in a high vibration, they can't do nothing with that. They can't mess with that. You know, they. That's why I keep on saying like they know who to choose. You know what I mean? They know who to choose. They know who to pick. Once they realize that they couldn't, have play those psych games, and they had somebody calling me on Discord, pretending like acting like they knew a whole different Ralph, and da 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 da, like trying to learn me. And I said, man, y'all are weird. Like, this is weird. But they want to do that. They want to play in your ear like that, so they can plant seeds, and they trying to make it seem like they giving you like, no, I was trying to give you advice or give you suggestions. No, you were planting seeds. And they think that they can play these whisperers and so on and so forth and make you run around and act crazy like Jaguar Wright. But that only works for those who mind is not strong in the real reality of this world. When you still being able to get manipulated by the reality of this world, they can play those games. But when your mind is strong and what the universe has shown you what this world really consists of, you just look at that and kind of laugh. And that's what made them so mad, is because we just kept laughing at them. But what are we to do? We can't do nothing. Shit, it's funny. The operation of this world is funny. This world is funny. I think it is. I think we live in a hilarious world. I think the world is hilarious. Oh, snap. I like this vest. Oh, look, that big vest too. Man, it's free. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That thing gonna look nice. Ooh, I like that vest. Me? Is it reversible? But that's the reality of this. You know, you got some people who can and some people who can't. But neither here nor there, you know, YouTube, I just want to say you guys continue to be great. Remember, one's image of oneself should be greater than reality. If nobody told you that they love you today, let me be the first but not the last to tell you that I love you. Always be greater to yourself. The world is trying to put us against each other in more ways than one. There's a multitude of ways that they're trying to put us against each other. When you think you got over one way, another way comes, and it'll keep coming until they find some type of way to put us against each other. Don't fall for it. If you didn't look at the multiple examples of how they attacked us, how they attacked the Discord, first lying and saying that there were certain pictures in the Discord. Then you had other variations of attack to try to make it seem like I attacked this person or attacked that person in the Discord. You had them planning people in the Discord to try to cause friction or argument so they can say that it was a falling out in the Discord. So you watch the multitudes of levels of ways that they will use to divide. Some people fell victim to it, and you can see that they're no longer here, no longer in the chat, no longer part of the Atlas, you know, family or sister wives, whatever. But the ones who are still here, you see they still holding on strong. You see us still strong as ever, especially with what's going on TikTok. You guys on YouTube don't know how active we are on TikTok. But yeah, we got great things going. And like I said, with the whole invention thing, you know, that might be something that we can add to our title. You know, we're inventors. Once this product is out there, you know, people are going to have to address me accordingly. You know what I mean? I'm going to be an inventor soon. So I want my acronyms or whatever they call. I want those. Nah, I'm joking. Love is love. Namaste. Ashe. Salutation. Shalom. Peace. I hope everyone have a great night. I'm going to go over and play the game for some time on TikTok. You're welcome to come over there. I might stream the game on YouTube on one of my days off. I really been busy working, trying to stack some money for next year's great adventure. And trying to put some funds together for the land that we are going to be having our, you know, events on and stuff come springtime. So everything's still in motion. We still doing exactly what we do, which is take the time to make proper preparations in the wintertime, and then the spring and summer and part of the fall, we get out there and put ourselves in operation to help people. They didn't stop anything. Don't think that they stopped anything. This was always part of our operation to put ourselves in a state of preparation in wintertime. That's what we do. We prepare in the wintertime, stack money in the wintertime, and then in the spring and so on and so forth, we get out there and try to help. That's why they can't really stop us, because they can't really figure out our movement. You know, they trying to figure it out. And they're trying to copy us too, because they want to be like us. They want to try to tell people that they got the homestead plan and the homestead. They don't even know what homesteading consists of. You know what I'm saying? But we are reaching out to, that was another thing I meant to tell y'all. I have been trying to reach out to Kyrie Irving to try to get in touch with him, because he's trying to do the homestead stuff and everything like that. So I'm trying to reach out to him to see if he'll sponsor me in some way, form with this spiritual stuff. So if anybody want to help me with that, please reach out to me in the Discord. But I'm trying to reach out to Kyrie Irving to see if he would want to help sponsor or donate in some way, shape, or form. I'll send him a message. But I think the more people sending the messages, or maybe if somebody else have somebody that can, you know, you know how this work. You didn't know how it worked. You got to know people, baby. But neither here nor there. You know, between me trying to get sponsored by Lids, reaching out to Kyrie Irving, the invention that we got something's going to take off, and that's not even including the stuff that we sent to Shark Tank. So we got some stuff in play. And we're gonna put some more stuff in the LE. I mean, I say LE. We're gonna put some more stuff in the Atlas clothing store too. So, I mean, they tried, but I can't even stop what the universe has put in place. They was better off, trying to be a part of it than trying to stop it. They should have seen how big it was, especially if I was revealing certain truths about their situation and not knowing their situation. They should have realized how big the journey, or how, you know what I mean? Because I expose people without even knowing nothing. Just speaking in truth, I exposed them, and they got upset about it because the truth hurts. That's why nothing that they said about me can ever tarnish or harm me, because it's not true. The stuff that we said about them, that shit struck a nerve so bad that they literally tried to find anybody close to me that they can pull, you know what I mean, to try to set me up. That's where the whole Freeman Farm comes in, Freeway Farm, whatever the hell the name of that shit was. But anyway, let me go play the game for a little bit. Y'all have a great night. Love is love.